Hey guys, how are you? Hey, today we are going to talk about one of the biggest time wasters in the history of humankind. It's a very ironic segment, and I'll be answering many questions on this topic. And I have a few people ask me questions about why is this so important, and why is this really important to do this digital diet, and what is digital diet anyway? And I did a video on this. And if you haven't checked out this video, you could check it out. You can go subscribe to my YouTube channel, search for Ruble Chandy, and then you would find the YouTube channel, and you could go for it and see that. But this week we focused on one thing, which is digital wastage of time. The things that waste your time, basically. So let me sit, relax and stuff like that now. Okay. So we are wasting enormous number of time on social media. It's fascinating to say this on a social media, right? So you might be listening to on Facebook or YouTube or some social media platform, but somebody has to say it, right? We are wasting enormous number of hours on social media. So let's do a simple math here. And on an average, people are spending around 2 to 3 hours on social media, and some people are spending significantly more time. And it doesn't exactly have to be social media too. It could be the new TV, the streaming, the Netflix, the Disney, the other stuff, the other entertainment, the YouTube, everything, right? So everything that you do that is entertainment related, supposedly entertainment related, all the ads that you're seeing, everything that you do to entertain yourself, relax yourself. On an average, it is 6 hours for people if you add the TV. So people watch a lot of TV and streaming and stuff like that. So what does that mean? So that's, in simple math, that's 25% of our life. So if you're spending 6 hours a day between all these things, and I believe you are not spending that much time, and average could be because another person is spending 8 hours and you're spending less time. I'm hoping that. But if one person on an average is spending 6 hours on their phone, on their TV, on their Netflix, on their social media, on YouTube, everything, that means that is 25% of your life. Imagine you are living for, let's say you live a long life of 100 years. And in that 100 years, you invested 25 years of your life. You invested 25 years of your life in social media, TV, YouTube, and everything related to that. That's astonishingly scary, right? Because we came to this planet to meet some purpose, to do something, to have a life, to create something, to express ourselves, to come up with something creative and give something to the world. But now what we're doing is we're sitting on like some tech company's website or their app or their streaming service, and they are deciding our life. So essentially, think about it in another way. We work around 40 hours a week, most people, if they have one full-time job globally, all over the world, since people are listening from like 12 different countries, or probably more than 12 countries right now. And if you are on social media, investing time 6 hours a day, that's like, it's 42 hours per week. So that is more than a full-time job. Imagine that. That's more than a full-time job for most people. So if you're spending less than that, that's awesome. But I'm talking about how to make sure that you convert that into money to create more wealth in your life, more abundance in your life, more happiness and fulfillment in your life. That's what we are talking about, right? So I wanted to tell you one thing, and I said this in the video as well, that social media people in social media, and I work with Silicon Valley executives and CEOs, so I know firsthand from these people that they have neurologists working for them, telling them what are the specific things that they could do, to keep you on their freaking social media. So what does that mean? It means they figured out how to create dopamine in you. As in, dopamine is a neurotransmitter that releases when your body is relaxed or when body is happy. So they figured out a way to release dopamine in you. And again and again, they come up with a love button and then like button and the hugging button and the caring button and all kind of BS like that, so that you stay here. And I know you are listening to this on social media. I understand that. Maybe this is the video that you need to watch on social media compared to other things that you're doing, right? So they figure out a way to activate your brain and figure out a way to keep us as human chimpanzees. So they could play around with us, right? So is that what we want? Is that what we sign up for in our lives, right? Is that the purpose of our life? You came to this planet as a soul which is conscious for creating something, right? Instead of that, we are reacting to this mania, right? So that's what we need to get out of. And that's what I spoke about on the video. And I know it is controversial and people have different opinions about this. But the reality is you have one life. You probably will live for 100 years. And in that 100 years, you don't want to be investing 25 years of your life on a social platform. And I don't believe that's why you came to this world for, right? So with that being said, let me answer the first question. What is wrong with social media if I'm doing it a little bit at a time? Okay. So here's the thing. Every interruption that you have, so you get this ding on your phone, and then every time you're working on your business, every time you're working on your job, and you get this ding, one ding is 25 minutes of wastage. So based on numerous studies, you get an alert from WhatsApp, from Clubhouse. I don't see much alerts from Clubhouse, by the way. Maybe I said I don't want an alert. Okay. So whether it is Clubhouse, social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, if you are interrupted one time with a ding on your phone or an email that you followed and you went ahead and took an action, that interruption is 25 minutes of wastage. Why? Because every time you click out of something that you're working on focused, and when you get out of it, what happens is your mind is going out of it. There is a drop of dopamine, and that dopamine that is released in your body, it's like, okay, I feel good about it. So two things would happen. One, you're completely distracted from what you're doing. You're like, what the heck was I doing? That's one thing. Second thing is, once you are in the social media, they know how to keep you, because you saw something and they have figured out your brain in such a fashion that they get, oh, you might like this thing too, and you might like that thing too, and this thing too, and this thing, that thing too. And you watch one video on YouTube, and then you go to another video on YouTube, and then another thing. Because according to statistics, the videos that YouTube is ranking, so if you're watching on YouTube, let me tell you, the way YouTube is ranking videos is based on how you could be retained. If you're watching this video on YouTube, and YouTube has figured out through their algorithm that based on the video that you're watching right now, these are the videos that you're going to like. And the reason why they do specific videos, they place the specific video on the right side or the bottom, wherever you watch it, based on whether you're using a phone or a desktop or whatever you're watching it with. Based on that, the other suggested video is based on a specific algorithm that Google has written. That's going to let them know that which video will keep you on their platform the longest. The longer you stay, the more advertisement they could show to you. Naturally, more people will be willing to pay for advertisement. So that's the game. That's why it is really important. That's why it's really important for you to stay in control of your life. Stay in control of your life, right? So you decide what you're going to do on social media. For example, you can spend 2 hours a day on social media if you have time, but it needs to be scheduled, like 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. Try to spend like 30 minutes if you could, not more than that if you're doing it for fun. But if it's for your business, spend 24 hours on social media if that's going to help your business. but don't make it as an excuse though, right? So schedule your time on social media. So if you are going on social media periodically all through the day, that is your stress management tool today. That is not a really good stress management tool. That's not going to help you manage stress, because I'll talk about another question in a second. But before that, this is creating a fake happiness. This is not the real world. The people who are friends with you on Facebook, they are not your best friends. If that's what you're thinking, please, they are not your best friends. I mean, that's the reality. And you might not like me for saying that, but that's the truth, guys. The people on your social media are not your best friends. Best friends are the people that you could open your heart and tell them, not post whatever is best that is happening in your life, and then both of you show the best of it, and then trim your body and modify your face to look like really pretty and put that on Instagram, and then both have like the fake life with each other, right? That's not real friendship. So understand, this is not a friendship area. This is a arrangement that we came up with, where you could feel, and you and I could feel that, oh, I'm connected to somebody. That arrangement is happening here. This is kind of a arranged relationship done by the tech companies, right? That's not where you are going to be. So if you think that you are having friendship on Facebook, I'm sorry, I'm missing it. Either I'm missing it completely. I don't think that is really happening here. But if you think that is true, go for it, believe it, and go for it. But that has not been for me and many of the people that I work with, right? So understand, this is not a friendship situation. This is an expression platform. And I want to talk about expression platform. What do I mean by expression platform? And this is a first-hand information, right? I have like techie people who work on Silicon Valley companies in higher level positions. And Facebook had one person in their organization fired because they said, we are promoting fight or argument with each other. So what does that mean? So two people talk to each other and they argue with each other. What the Facebook algorithm, what it does is it actually encourages people to jump into that conversation because it's a highlighted point. That means it's more revenue for them. Because it's more revenue for them, they encourage that, right? So what happened was one person said, hey, I don't want to be, I mean, this is not good. We are not doing good to the world. And then that person was fired. And, you can fact check Facebook if you're listening to this, right? I mean, if you're transcribing this and correct me if I'm wrong, and I'll be happy to be wrong, right? If that's true. So the bottom line is, this is an expression platform where one person is saying, hey, this is what is happening. And another person is, this is what is happening. And then conservatives will say, oh my gosh, the liberals are doing this. And the liberals will come and say, conservatives are doing this. And then there is this story in India, long time ago. I vaguely remember this. There is this wolf that is sitting in the middle and asking two sheep to fight with each other. And once they fight with each other and they both fall down, they will go and eat this sheep, right? So think about that metaphor for a second, right? I don't want to be too explicit there. But the point is, guys, we are all really good human beings. I mean, I know most of you guys are following me from the US, so we are all good people. We are not extreme crazy people. We are all good people, but we started fighting with each other mostly due to the messaging that we are getting, the message that we are getting in social media. So if you are a person who believes in a certain thing, this is a major problem. You start seeing only those things on your feed. Do you know how dangerous that is? Like, for example, if I believe that there are people in Mars, there are aliens who live in Mars. And then if that's what I believe, and if I saw that I believe that in my post or in my actions, then I would start seeing everything related to people living in Mars, other species living in Mars. Do you know the danger of that? The danger is I am completely shut off of the other possibility. What does that mean to us? It means that another person is believing that, oh, there are no people in Mars. And then I start a fight with the other person. Like, oh my gosh, I know, I'm very convinced. Look at the 70,000 articles that I read. And the other person is like, I read 70,000 articles too. I have so much data. That is a dangerous place to be in as a species. This is why we need to intentionally seek the opposite perspective. Okay, Anyway, that was not the topic of today, but I wanted to, I was so inspired to talk about it, so I thought I would spend a few seconds on it. But the bottom line is, this is needed. When we eat a lot of junk food on January, what do? We go back and do a diet, right? We do a diet and we try to lose weight and we try to lose fat and we try to manage our cholesterol. We need to manage our digital cholesterol. We need to manage our digital sugar. The digital sugar is the likes and the loves and other buttons that is getting us the sugar high in the digital world. We need to manage them. In order for us to manage that, one, we need to structure the time that you spend for social media for fun. It is okay to spend time. I'm not against it. I'm not against Facebook either, right? I love Facebook. It's good. It's a good platform. But the bottom line is, you invest your time when you decide to invest on that time. So schedule that time. Schedule and say, you know what? This is my time. I want to waste this time. I want to invest this time on connections, right? And you spend that. But that's the time that you're going to be spending on social media, on YouTube. And even when you're doing, if you're listening to this on YouTube, try to invest half of the social media time into educating yourself, learning how to do business. If you're a business person, if you're following me, you are a person who wants to start a business, or you already have a business, or you have a successful business, you want to grow to the next level. If you are one of them, or you're a professional who want to grow your profession or your career. So if that's the case, what I would encourage you to do is, when you are spending this time on digital world, you have enormous information. There was a time when I was 16 years old, I wanted to study about a specific topic called dyslexia. And I started feeling I couldn't read books, and I was like scared and like, what's happening with me? I want to know, like, what is dyslexia? I want to study that. I went to like 60 miles to go find a library, and I didn't find that in that library. And then I kept on going to several libraries to find a book. I mean, for kids who don't know what a book is, like, it looks like this. Yeah, it looks like this. It's made of, like, I know it's made of tree and stuff like that, but we used to use that. So the bottom line is, that's how information was. So I had to go from libraries to libraries to library to find out one book about that topic. And I don't even remember whether I got the information on time. So the bottom line is, you have on YouTube, to TED, through so many other places, you have enormous information. Khan Academy, you could literally study about anything that you want to study on Khan Academy for free. It's no cost to it, right? And go to TED.com, and you could study so many things. And you could study marketing. You could watch my videos if you want. I don't like talk regular stuff about politics or anything like that. I only talk about the things that are going to help you to move your life, your business forward, right? So subscribe to people who add value to you, and then go back and learn life, study business, study marketing, study sales, even if you are not a business person, because you need to learn how to persuade people in order for you to grow your career, grow your business. And if you don't want to start a business, even for your career, when you go for an interview, what are you doing? You're selling to people. So study things, right? So invest your time on yourself. There's a great quote that I loved from Jim Rohn. You might have heard it. Is like, if you spend time on your job, you make a living. But if you invest on yourself, you make a fortune. That is a truth, guys. The time is like, it is easy for us to be distracted, thinking that everything is okay. You could just relax. I just need to sit on YouTube or Netflix, watch something for like 10 minutes, and then you go on and go on and go on. 6 hours later, you're like, oh my gosh, 6 hours? I end up spending 6 hours. And you can do that one time if you need to. That's fine. I'm not against it. And I do that. Sometimes I end up watching things for a long time, and I have fun with it. But it needs to be a planned thing, not because somebody else asked you to do that. I don't want you to be the slaves of the tech companies. I don't want me to be the slave of a technology company. I want to be free from it. I want to have the choice to do what I want to do, and what I want to do. And I want to offer that too. That's why digital diet is important. So digital diet is, for example, you skip the breakfast. Like if you are like doing an intermittent fasting, what do? You skip the breakfast, right? You don't eat in the morning, and you might try to eat early before it's too late. Same thing. On a digital diet, what you do is you skip. You don't watch social media or go to social media for fun until 12. So that's intermittent fasting, right? So the intermittent fasting or digital media, you could do that. That's awesome, right? And then consume social media till 6, and after that, I will not consume. So you are on a 6-18 diet, digital diet. So at that time, 12 to 6, you would watch social media. Other time, you wouldn't, right? Or schedule it 3 to 5. So if it is only 3 to 5, you are on 22 to 22 digital diet. So figure out a way that work for you. You want to be on a all carb diet or all protein diet? What you would do is you would watch YouTube, but you wouldn't go on Facebook for next 7 days. That's fine too. By the way, just to tell you, like, I don't use social media even once a week, literally. So I just want to let you know, I do this a video. This is the only thing that I actually literally do on social media, right? So I try to do this video, and that's my use of social media, right? I do use WhatsApp a lot for my business. I use this Facebook for my business to help people, to support them growing their business to the next level. That's my use of social media as of today. I might change it tomorrow, but today that's what I do. To help people and create content, right? I might spend probably 5 minutes a week or 10 minutes a week. That's my social media use, and my world hasn't exploded. I know I might be missing out some of the coolest things in the world, but I'm okay with that because we all have a life, right? So that's the social media diet. So you pick your diet. You want to have all protein diet, or all YouTube diet, or all Facebook diet, or all Twitter diet? You could pick it. But the bottom line is, pick one diet, pick one lifestyle, right? Pick one diet that would help you, right? For example, if you want to be like fasting for 3 days, fast for 3 days. So which means you wouldn't be doing anything, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, or anything for 3 days. So you fast for 3 days, it will clean up your system. You don't touch electronics for 3 days, your intelligence actually goes up. There is a study recently that says if you go to nature and spend time on nature for 48 hours and come back, your intelligence actually goes above 10%, because our intelligence is dropped because this constant blabber of technology intervening and distracting and interrupting our lives, right? So you pick the diet. That's a social media diet. And if you have questions, put in the comment below. And if you want to get my book, many people ask me about the book that I have written. I would put the link in the bottom. It's called 90 Days to Life. 90 Days to Life, and you could actually get it on Amazon. And if you want, so let me find it right now and put it here. 90 Days Life is for anybody who's a professional. Anybody who's a professional, or anybody who's a business person who wants to take their business to the next level. That's what this book is for. I'll post a link here. If you want to get it, get it. Get it if you because if you want to move your business to the next level or your career to the next level. It's a story of a woman who's struggling to move their life to the next level, and then they're trying to figure out life. And if you want to read a story, if you enjoy story, and if you want to learn business through a story, or how to manage your life through a story, go for it and get it. And it was an international bestseller. It's been translated into different languages right now. But it doesn't need to be my book. You could, when you are in this digital diet, invest that time into a few things. You could download Kindle, right, and try to read on Kindle, even on desktop. Right. So another option is you could download audible.com, Audible, audible.com, something like that, right? Audible.com, and listen to books online, like audiobooks, so you will start to get knowledge. And another one is Blinklist, Blinklist. Blinklist is a great tool for helping you focus on get the summary for books in less than 10 minutes. So that is another option. It's an app. Blinklist.com. In less than 10 minutes, you get the essence idea of a book. But the bottom line is, I had a client of mine probably 5 years ago. He was struggling. He didn't know what to do. He was stuck in a business, and he didn't know what to do. He was not making money, losing money in many dimensions, and he was scared, confused. And I told him, this person, hey, build a habit of listening to books online, while you're driving. And he said he was driving around 600 hours a year. So that is another thing. That's 2 hours a day is 600 hours a year, approximately 700 hours a year. You're spending 700 hours a year driving. Listen to audiobooks. There are like the radio shows can wait and other stuff can wait. But if you listen to an audiobook using Audible and Blinkist, Blinklist, if you do that, you're right. There are some people, one person saying social media ineffectively. It's all about balance and selecting things enhance rather than distract. My social media is less than a year. It is selective use. Love it. Yeah. Probably you don't need to stay in this video. No, I'm kidding. You can. But the bottom line is most people don't do that, right? Most people end up using distracted and they start fighting with each other and stuff like that. Thank you for your comments there. I appreciate that. So the bottom line is invest into self-education, invest into reading books, listening to books. And in that 600 hours, if you spend that 600 hours this year learning how to sell more effectively, 600 hours of learning how to sell effectively. In 1 year, you will be a master at influencing people. So invest that time. That's 1/3 of what people spend on social media. But people watch TV, right? So spend 600 hours. Let's say you don't spend 600 hours. You spend 100 hours listening to 25 books on sales. 25 books on sales. Right? So what happens? Thank you for your comment. I appreciate it. I was just joking. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate your comment. Thank you for supporting what I'm saying too. Right? So selectively use your social media and cut back on the social media diet so our mind doesn't become obese with this junk information, the junk food of the digital world, and invest that into books. Invest that into audiobooks so you could learn about how to invest, how to be wealthy, how to be happy, how to be spiritual, how to give to the world, how to start a business, how to earn income online, how to do something else, and learn that and stack your brain with those things so that you could make the best value from your life. So the bottom line is, instead of spending 25 years of your life giving for a technology company, invest in yourself and use Audible or paper books or something else to figure out what is really important for you. Invest time on it. And if you want to read my book, I put the link there. It's called 90 Days Life. You could get the book anywhere in the world using Kindle. The printed books are available in 25 countries or something. And if you want to get it, go ahead and get it. And the bottom line is, find out your diet, whether it is the keto or the all protein or all carb or all whatever diet, or it's going to be fasting, for the all fasting for 3 days so that you get detox your body from all the social media toxins, get it out of your system, and then do an intermittent fasting. If you don't know what intermittent fasting is, basically you eat from, let's say, from lunchtime, you don't consume any social media from in the morning till lunchtime, and then you could start using it, and then you stop at 6 p.m. That is the intermittent fasting of social media diet. But the bottom line is, if you think you need a digital diet, go for it. But if you're using it for business, continue using it. I was just too excited about all these things. But, many people told me, many clients told me, I don't have time. And many people don't have time. And all Ruble diet, yeah, you could go for that too. I do only valuable stuff. I don't talk about things that are not really important, and I don't want to waste your time either, right? So the bottom line is, spend your time, invest your time on the most valuable resources, at least 1 hour a day, so that when you, 10 years from now, when you look back, if you're 30, when you're 40, when you look back, oh my gosh, that 10 years was the best 10 years of my life. I didn't finish the story of the guy. So the guy actually, when they had started listening, he listened to some of my videos, listened to some of my other people's video, some of my friends' videos, and 3 years later, he has 2 major businesses in the US that he's successful, and he's making a ton of money. And he told me, Ruble, 5 years ago, you told me to do this thing. I even forgot that I told him. And 5 years ago, you asked me to do this, and I did this. And every time I get on car, I start with listening to something that is so valuable. And because of that, my life has completely changed. And I have 2 successful businesses right now. So listen to what you want to listen, watch what you want to watch, because this brain that is between your ears, that basically decide where you want to go, where you're going to go. It's a short life. You think that it's a long life, but the reality is it's a very, very freaking short life. And you might be 30 years right now. You might 3 blinks, you go to 70, and when you look back and it's like, oh my gosh, my life is done. And you don't want to be disappointed like that. That's why we invest right now. Okay, love you guys. Have an amazing day. I have to catch up on something else right now. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for your support. Thanks for everybody who's listening from all over the world. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Bye.